evolve, which essentially also meant that to learn any new tool, any new technology, any new innovation, it's always better to see how it helps in the problem that you have faced instead of someone else's problems, right? So for me, having spent so much time in management consulting, it seemed like a relevant problem that I would see on how I can solve through an AI agent. And that way, I could also learn how an AI agent is built from ground up. So for the for the session, essentially, I'll do a good conversation and demo in the first 90 minutes, and then we can take a few questions at the end. We can have an open discussion around how this AI agent knowledge could help in each of you building your own solutions. Uh, the conversation would essentially revolve around partners and senior leaders who are looking to have their own control over their own business and over their own challenges and problems. Uh, I will focus on how you can build those solutions using Plot Code. That's what I use, but everything is similar nowadays, whether you use Codex or any other agentic AI tool for coding and building a solution for your problems. This will be the agenda. So essentially, we'll start with the problem that I was facing and what agentic AI means in today's world. I'll walk you through a quick build story on how I built Relic, which is the tool that I have built, what this tool does, and we'll do a quick live demo. And at the end of it, I would kind of probe each of you to use it and see how it helps you in your day-to-day lives. And then finally, we'll wrap it up with how this all connects back and how what are some ground rules that you should use when you're building something similar for your own challenges and problems in your own business. So this is where the key challenge started. Over the decade-long consulting career, what I realized was my building my own book of business meant that anyone and everyone that I met, whether in a conference or in a subway ride or at an airport, essentially meant that I needed to keep that relationship warm. And that's where most of the time I would essentially lack either the time to pursue that person, even though we may get connected over LinkedIn, we may exchange our phone numbers, emails, etc. But again, out of sight, out of mind. And a lot of my business essentially came through keeping that connection warm. I didn't had a sales team who would pursue potential consulting engagements for me, right? I had to keep knocking on my clients' doors. So essentially, most of my business came from the client where I was actively deployed or where I was actively spending most of my time at, right? You walk through the corridors of the client buildings and you end up building relationships and kind of keep probing them on what are their challenges, what are the new things that they are trying, and you say essentially build your business around that, right? Looking at the audience of this session, almost all of you are finance professionals who essentially may want to become like an independent finance guru, an expert like Ankur, for example, and may want to run your own consulting organization, which essentially mean either you will have to rely on hiring salespeople or you would be your own salesperson by itself, right? You are that sales development representative, you are the account manager, you are the delivery person, you are essentially everything. Now, for you, how do you maintain and build those relationships over time? We are waiting in this session today, and tomorrow, I would essentially send every one of you a simple note around your background, around today's session. And then later on, most of the time, it will just drop off the radar, right? So that was the key challenge that I was facing as I was growing my own consulting book of business. So when I was trying to learn Cloud Code, I thought, hey, why not solve that problem itself? So when I started solving this, I realized there are a lot of these. AI agents and SDRs out there in the market. But what I realized was they were essentially meant for sales teams. Sales teams essentially start with two inputs. One, knowing what their company is building or the product or the solution that they have to sell. And the second is a list of prospects. And these are cold prospects. Either they have bought a list of potential CIOs and CTOs to sell, if it's a technology solution, or they may be, let's say, category managers if your product is a FMCG product. But essentially, that's where they start. That's not true for professional services or leaders like us. For us, essentially, it's not always the CFO. It could be the accounting person. It could be the finance person. It could be anyone in your target account who could help you open the door and walk into the client, right? It could be even the procurement manager for that matter, who might be facing some challenges. Could be the credit or accounts receivable team, credit managers, right? Now, that creates a bigger challenge for us because now we don't have a targeted list to pursue. Moreover, for us, selling our services means building a relationship. And that relationship is essentially through a lot of interactions, not necessarily just straight up pitching what you can do for that organization, but rather keep inviting them for a coffee, for a lunch or a dinner, and essentially keep pursuing them uh, while trying to learn what their company or what that person is doing. Right? LinkedIn has solved this to a certain extent by giving you a highlight. Hey, certain person has changed their company. Right? That essentially means you could have a potentially new client in that new organization. Right? So, but then how do you pursue it? Pursue them. Either you keep scrolling through the endless news feed of LinkedIn and keep sending AI drafted messages, which essentially take into account very limited information. Or you train an assistant, right? And I'm saying a human assistant who is essentially maintaining what I call as a Rolodex. That's a list of people that you have ever interacted with and keeps maintaining it and keeps probing you or prodding you. Hey, this person changed an organization. What should I send this person? Right? Should I send them a bouquet of flowers for that matter? Right? That used to be the way of building relationships almost 2 or 3 decades ago. Nowadays, it's about a congratulatory note uh, and just staying in touch. So this tool that I have built using Cloud Code is essentially targeted at independent consultants and partners of these organizations. Uh, it doesn't replace a sales team, but it helps you maintain that memory that goes on the back burner. Somebody you met in a at an airport, uh, but maybe connected with them on the LinkedIn and sent them a single liner. But essentially, this tool maintains that knowledge, that relationship, that memory that you can then kind of tap into and keep growing your business. Before I get into Relic, let me quickly differentiate between the two terms called as an AI assistant and an agentic AI. An AI-based assistant essentially is like your personal assistant, a human assistant, right? You asked a question to that assistant, hey, where does this person, where is this person working today? And your assistant would reply, hey, I did my research and this person is working at Britannia for that matter, right? They changed from Dover to Britannia. But that's it. Uh, Essentially, it's a trigger that you asked a question and you got one answer to it. And you had to supply all the context. You had to supply which person you are asking about, right? Uh, since names are pretty common nowadays with 1.4 billion people, you also had to supply some context of it that, hey, last I knew this person was working at Dover, right? And every interaction you are controlling it. The Your assistant responded this person is working at Britannia, but now you have to tell the next step as well, that what should the assistant do with this new knowledge. And agentic AI is a different ballgame altogether. Here essentially what you're telling your AI assistant is, hey, I like to uh, send a note to this person who last I knew was working at Dabur. This is what my past interaction has been with this person. Look at all the knowledge around Dabur, around Britannia, around this person's move from Dabur to Britannia, and help me reconnect or rekindle that relationship with that person. Right. So essentially, the AI agent is now performing a series of steps. They are doing the research around the target prospect. They are synthesizing all the information. They are drafting a potential outreach message. And they're also suggesting that today you should send a certain message. 2 days later, you should send another message. 5 days later, you should send another message. So they are now following a series of steps, not just a one off response. From a context perspective, you only told this AI agent a little bit of context that, hey, I knew this person was working at Dabur. Beyond that, the AI agent did all its knowledge gathering. They did its own LinkedIn research, the web research, without continuously prodding them that what they should be doing. Right. Finally, and this is something I learned as I was building Relic, is you need to have a good human checkpoint in AI agents. Today, you might be receiving a bucket load of outreach messages, but if you see, they are lacking that human checkpoint. And that's why a lot of those messages are landing up in spam folders. And that's where I think quite a lot of AI agents are failing as well, that we have deliberately removed that human checkpoint. And that's a learning that I would also show you as I walk you through Relic as well. To give you some additional context, I'm not a software engineer, right? While you heard that I'm from IIT Delhi, doesn't mean I'm a software engineer. Yes, I did tech almost 20 years ago, but essentially I did my MBA to get away from tech. I hated it. I did not like coding. I did not like uh, continuously learning new technologies and new softwares that came into the market. I wanted to always shift towards the business side, right during IIT itself. So while the 3 years of tech consulting gave me a little bit of knowledge, but that's something I totally hated and I moved away from it. Now, I know Anurag probably showed you a couple of weeks back. I'm not sure what the overlap of audience today, but he showed you how you can build a prototype from prompts. Relic, as I will show you, is actually a production level system, again built from prompts itself. So it, I did not do any sort of coding whatsoever. I did not uh, pick a language. I did not pick a database. I did not pick anything whatsoever as I was building Relief. I let the system decide, help me decide, brainstorm with me on what should be used as I'm building a software solution to help me maintain my own consulting relationships. Right. Uh, yes, it did take time, but not as much time as, let's say, if I would have given it to a technology company to build for me. Uh, I've been part of those technology companies and I know how much of a back and forth they end up doing as they build the solution for me or my company. And um, I would say kudos to OpenAI and Anthropic that they had given us this tool where we don't have to rely upon another human's understanding of what we want done. This is something that Cloud Code and Codex has really helped us, that we can literally see what they are understanding, how they are understanding, and course correct in real time in a few minutes itself. Now, as I spent my time building these solutions or guiding my technology teams to build solutions for my clients, what I realized was uh, the domain knowledge that I brought to the table or what my clients told me was a lot more important than the actual software itself. The software could be any technology out there, whether it's Salesforce or Siebel in CRM or Workday in finance and accounting or Zoho. Uh, the the tool mattered less than the domain knowledge itself. So what matters today with the cloud code and every system out there is what kind of domain knowledge you can feed into the system as it's building the solution for you. Like, that becomes your, I mean, we use the word moat quite a lot nowadays, but that becomes the critical differentiator between your solution and somebody else's solution. Finally, don't think that this was what you will see is done in a night. Uh, the downfall of agentic AI based coding is also the fact that it does not play a good devil's advocate. You tell it something and it will essentially go berserk and build it out without really thinking through it, that what you asked, was it even relevant, or was it a brain dump, or should that knowledge be even used? You probably dumped a lot of your domain knowledge into building the solution, but a lot of it could be just something on the periphery, but not to be taken into literal sense. And so a lot of time was of mine was spent on kind of putting blinders on the AI as it was building the solution for me. Now, uh, now the relic that I've built, essentially who it serves all your senior leaders who lack the time of doing the sales, and who are who may have a junior assistant to help, but they really cannot dump all the domain knowledge on that junior, right? Uh, the typical day that I had was, uh, 8 to 5. I'm working for a client. Kind of delivering the solution or making presentations. So, what time I had to build my own book of business was the flights that I was taking, or some of a downtime that I may get from my client, right? Now, during those downtime, how do I prioritize who to reach out to? Who do I build my relationship with? That became that important aspect as I was building this solution. Now, what this assistant does is essentially your relationship orchestration system, right? Uh, Imagine if you had someone who always walked alongside you, who was always there when you shook someone's hand, who always listened to what you spoke, what that other person spoke. Remember every relationship along with that context. You met someone at a conference. This assistant is always listening, is real time researching who you have met, what their LinkedIn says, what their company's Google search says, and everything, and keeps all the context, right? Um, Music presented. Okay. Uh, it it also keeps you in check. It tells you who you should reconnect with, who you have not uh, stayed in touch with for a long time. It researches everyone before you send them a note. It looks into account the latest news and their LinkedIn posts and everything, so that you show up prepared. Uh, it drafts the content in your own voice. So it doesn't send a very templatized message. It essentially keeps learning on how you write, how do you speak, how do you send messages, and make sure that the other person doesn't realize that it's an AI assistant who has sent this message. And before sending, as I mentioned before, right, most of the AI agents are failing because there is no human checkpoint. Now, this Relic tool essentially helps you by creating that human checkpoint, that you do the edit or final review before the system sends out anything. Let me quickly walk you through this tool. All of you will can actually get access to the. You just have to go to this link, and I'll share this in the chat. Feel free to play around with it. You can sign up yourself. It's a self sign up. I've not blocked it for anyone. So let's say I'm going to create an account, a real time account. And let me create a new temporary email address. Um, uh, I'm creating a new temporary email address because I've practically exhausted all my own. Um, um, Bear with me for one second. Just a minute. So, as you can understand, right, this is an assistant for you to grow your business. So essentially, the assistant, or even on day one, would like to know more about you, who you are, what you do. Uh, Essentially, you'll have to ramp up an assistant. So, the first step is as part of onboarding, you have to supply it your own information. Let's say uh, I give it my LinkedIn profile. So it has fetched my LinkedIn profile and it has realized that I have about 20 years of management consulting experience, my background, my education. And it's asking me how many years of experience I have sales and BD. Again, optional, but let's say because this is a universal tool, you could potentially build something like this for enough, even any one of your processes as well. Um, the company name is, let me use Nexarit. I'm going to give it my company name. I'm not sure how many of you have your own personal websites, but if you don't, I would highly recommend having one. So this is another venture that I run called Nexarit. This is something we are trying around hiring space, especially the trust that's getting broken by candidates. So what I gave it is my other company's website. It essentially understood what that company is doing, who are they targeting, and everything. As part of that reading of the website, it identified what are the company's products and services that the company sells. And as part of my role, what exactly am I selling amongst all these things that the company is selling? What's the core proposition? Again, everything read based upon the knowledge that I already gave it, which is my own LinkedIn profile and the company's website. It's asking for some achievements, case studies, competitive differentiators. We can fill this later, but for the sake of time, I'm going to move past. I'm going to set up my communication style. Let's say I like to be very formal and polished in my communication. Uh, uh, I keep my emails short. Uh, I use highly professional tone and language. I always sign off with, uh, let's say, appreciate your time. Hmm. So that's pretty much it. And the system now has built my own profile. Uh, it has learned what my company does, the value proposition, the products and the company sells. You can always add your case studies and differentiators as you learn through or build your own company. The communication styles that I had already fed. Uh, some AI memory around what the company does, what are the products and services. If you're part of a company which has its own brand voice guidelines, you can add them here. You can also tell the tool on what are some do's and don'ts in when the tool is drafting some messages. Some common objections that people raise when you send them messages. Some sort of AI instructions like don't use bullet points or always mention something specific. uh, Channel preferences. I'll come to this later. And any sort of personal details that you would like uh, the assistant to know when they are doing the outreach for you. I'll do a quick integration with Apollo that helps in running this thing better. Just bear with me one second. I have to pause the screen for a minute. Uh, Now, since this tool will be doing, or this assistant will be doing an outreach on my behalf, I'm going to connect it to my LinkedIn as well. This takes a little while because LinkedIn has deployed certain checks and balances. So I have a two-factor authentication set up on my LinkedIn account. So it sends me an OTP on my cell phone. My LinkedIn is connected now. So now essentially my assistant knows about me, about my company, about the value proposition and the products that my company and I are trying to sell, the type of communication I like to do. Now, the very next thing would be, let's say, I met Ankur, uh, for that matter, right? Let's see. Ankur, you were part of Indigo, right?
Yeah.
So Interglobe Aviation, right? And Ankur. So, were you an AVP Business Finance?
Yes.
I'm going to import Ankur's profile. Uh, this is now pulling data from Apollo right now. And for simplicity's sake, let's say I met Ankur in at an airport, right? We had a common flight and we struck it off. And now I would like to pursue Ankur to sell Nexaret, the services that I'm building at Nexaret. So all I had to do was look for Ankur in Indigo and import him as a prospect. So now I have a relationship with Ankur. And immediately, what the system has done is it has already researched who Ankur is, right? Why should I keep building relationship with Ankur? He's an AVP Business Finance and Indigo. That means he sits very close to decisions around cost control and workforce investment. Why should I reach out to Ankur now? Because Indigo has just approved a $450 million asset acquisition plan. That means they will be expanding their team, they'll be doing a lot of hiring, etc. And I should frame this conversation around the hiring risk that I'm trying to solve through Nexaret. So it has already suggested an angle. Why should I reach out to Ankur right now? And why should I reach out to Ankur? At the same time, it has also, yeah,
Himanshu, so you need to know the name of the person because there could be target company rather than target individual. Like
I'll
in
come to
this
that
case,
as well.
yeah.
I'll come to that as
Okay.
well.
But
Yes.
that looks
Yeah.
easy to me. If I know someone, I'm able to find it. But anyways, carry on, please. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Hmm.
At the same time, how should I reach out to Ankur? Right now, either I could spend 10 minutes doing all this research and then crafting this message for him that Nexaret, which is helping companies reduce interview fraud, I draft a message around this, right? Or I have the system do it for me, right? I could create a LinkedIn version for this, right? So now this is taking into account a lot of context that right now Indigo is acquiring more and more aircrafts, right? Most recorded interviews leave no defensible audit trail. That's what Nexaret is trying to solve, right? It's finally a hook that if candidate verification risk has come up on the finance side at Indigo because Ankur is at finance at Indigo, or is it something that is entirely with HR, right? So agreed, Ankur may not be the right prospect, but if I met him and I wanted to open Indigo as a potential account for Nexaret, he could help me connect with the HR, right? While
Himanshu,
my two,
again,
yeah.
I'm sorry,
Mhm.
just again a question on this.
Sure.
Typically, if someone contacts me over an email, I'm being very candid.
Hmm.
Most of the
Hmm.
time, those emails goes in spam or someone not even read that. Is it
Absolutely.
like this is one problem, while
Hmm.
we're talking about this because this looks great to me. And secondly, this only provides the email ID because email ID you're able to fetch to, which I was little surprised because the email ID was not in public domain, but I can see it now. So is
Yes.
it is it like you can also have a mobile number also, or it's only able to email ID now? Because
I can get the mobile number as well.
that's dangerous now. Okay,
No,
so that's possible.
that's what companies like Apollo and Lucia, they are built around that.
Okay,
So
and
there are,
these are paid subscription, Polo and all.
yeah,
These are
yeah,
paid.
that will be a paid subscription. Yes.
So probably when if I use Relic, so probably for Relic is right now paid. Like if I want to take Relic, and probably so.
The only thing is, that's where I paused my screen share for a minute. I did
Mm.
enter my own Apollo.io key. So right now I'm
Ah,
fetching
so
the information up from Apollo.
okay, so if I want to really make use of your app, I need to
Hmm.
have the Apollo IO key.
Correct.
That's one I
Correct.
need. Okay,
Yeah.
great. So that's helpful. Okay, over to
Yeah.
you. Okay. So this the same key can provide me the mobile number also if you want.
Yes.
Okay, 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 got it.
It's a credit-based system. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, the current pricing of Apollo is you pay, I think, 2,000 rupees for 2,500 credits. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so each credit is, let's say, about 80, 85 paisa.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes one credit to get the basic information, including email. And if I'm not mistaken, 8 credits for getting a mobile number.
I'm not asking you to generate my mobile number right now, but I'm just asking you
Yeah,
how
I'm
do
just,
you do that? Because
I
I'm
have
in Relic and
disabled it in Relic right now.
okay, you have
Yeah,
okay, you disabled in Relic.
yeah.
Okay,
I've disabled that part.
okay. Carry on.
The
Please
thing,
carry
yeah, yeah.
Himanshu, is
Uh,
Apollo just India contacts, or is Apollo it has global
Apollo is
contacts?
global. Lucia is global. Pretty much everyone is global nowadays.
Okay, thank you.
on. So
But
Himanshu Harsh works from London, so he's in London. So probably he's asking the
okay,
question.
Harsh, let's see. What's your company? Which company do you
I
work for?
work for IAG, international,
IAG.
yeah, International Airlines Group. Uh,
This
yeah,
is
the
IAG.
second
This
second
This
one.
one,
one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
second
think
one.
let's find Harsh. Mm.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, yeah. It's so you are also spotted now.
Yep.
Right.
Interesting. No, it's dangerous.
Right.
No, that's fine. But I'm just realized that how do people contact us? So probably that solves my query.
Correct.
I was quite
Correct.
amazed at how people reach out to me. But I think this is interesting now. It's getting interesting. You carry on, Imanshu. I think I'm finding it quite interesting now because this is really, you know, it's really I think practical what we're talking through. I think this is
Right.
real problem right now in the market.
Right. So I might be stepping into a sales role as I'm showing you this tool. But the initial genesis was around if Ankur, I met you at an airport while catching a flight, I would essentially enter your information in this tool, which will keep me in check, right? I could, let's say, instead of going through Apollo, I could actually add your details like this. Yeah, I met Ankur Singhal, right? If we met, I could potentially ask your email address, your LinkedIn profile, I could search, right? And I could add you simply manually, right? It doesn't have to go through an Apollo.
I
But
think but I think it's quite helpful if probably what you are trying to do with relic rel IQ. You call it rel IQ. Sorry, I'm missing
Relic, Relic, Rel
relic.
IQ.
Rel.
Yeah,
Okay, relic. So probably when you integrate with the any third party app, then you are making it fully productive actually. I think
absolutely.
what I can sense, you save a lot of time because now I think now I can correlate what you said in the beginning. If you met somebody at airport, even you know the
Hmm.
name and the person company name, that's two things only you remember because that's something you can't remember more than that. Probably you
Right.
come and put those things and you start getting information and you can start getting to talk about. You can start making a relationship with him or her.
Absolutely.
That's how you okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, I think I
Right.
got it. Now it's making sense to me. Yeah.
So I'm going to, let's say, Ankur, I'm not sure if we are connected on LinkedIn, but what the system is going to do is I went to relationships under Ankur
Mm-hmm.
and I'm having the system check if we are connected or not.
I think not right now. But you see what does it say? Because I just want to have a
If you are not connected, it will say that we are not connected. And it will essentially help me establish the connection as well.
okay. So it can read your entire LinkedIn data also. Now this app, your also. It
Yes.
can,
Yes.
okay, understood. Okay,
Because as part of integration, right? So not connected yet. Let's say I click a send connection request.
will it draft a message also? Yeah.
Uh, it does. I did not send. I did not type one. There was a box there which
I can see. Yeah, I'm seeing right now whether right now I have not got any request. Maybe it will come in some time.
it
It
will
has
come.
not
It
come
will
through.
come in sometime. Yeah, yeah. There's a
Okay,
background process that's running and it will send the request. Right.
okay.
As part of interactions, I could actually log an interaction. Right. Let's say we met.
Hmm.
We met at a conference, let's say, date and time. And if there's a follow-up required, I could set up a due date. Because let's say in that conference, we decided, hey, we should catch up for a coffee 2 days from now. I could set up a follow-up due date.
Mm. Himanshu, just a question, and I think now I'm just visualizing this. So probably, like we normally have typically companies have CRM, customer relationship management. So how does it difference from that? Is it like a one step before CRM? Like I'm just trying to understand that how
CRM,
does it?
sure, sure. So CRM is it's a tool when a company is creating products, could be software solutions, could be physical products, and they want to maintain a relationship with their customers. Now, customer is someone who has already purchased from you, right? They're not prospects, right?
I think
And the
CRM
reason
also
you
manage the cycle. CRM also manage the cycle of prospects, like where the sale lead is. Like sales funnel also CRM manages, which I'm aware of.
there's a lead, opportunity, and then customer, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
A lead is entered, and then there's an opportunity associated with them. And if the sale happens, then it's a customer, right?
Yes. 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 Yes.
CRM's core was always around maintaining relationships with customers, not prospects. It's over time that we have expanded its capability to
Ah,
capture leads and opportunities, right? So now you have
understood.
your whole sales cycles running through CRM as well. But initially,
Understood.
CRM was always about maintaining relationship with customers. It was always around upsell. I mean, the first ever CRM was essentially built so that you could maintain the service appointments with that customer.
Mm,
The real first day was around preventive maintenance, you can say scheduling.
mm.
That was always the first reason why CRM came into the picture. It's only later on we expanded it to include sales aspects as well.
Right.
But the difference here, Ankur, is I am not maintaining what I did with you or what I sold to you. This is a relationship orchestration, right?
Understood.
This
No, I
tool
can
is
see
not
that clearly.
capturing the product that I have given to Ankur. It's all about maintaining and knowing that, hey, has Ankur moved on from Indigo? If yes, then this assistant will auto prod me that, hey, Ankur has moved on from Indigo. He has joined this certain other firm. Why don't you send him a congratulatory note?
Okay, so
So,
it will
and
once you will create the data in this, it will automatically track my movement across.
absolutely,
Okay. Okay. So it's more of works as a live. Okay.
absolutely.
Carry on. Understood. Now I'm
Right?
clear.
So
Okay.
I've programmed it that it checks your LinkedIn profile every 15 days,
Mm,
right?
mm,
So the
mm.
moment you move from one company to another, the system itself will prod me that, hey, Ankur has moved. Why don't you reconnect and see if you could build business at Ankur's new organization?
You only focus on LinkedIn, not Insta or Facebook or something, because therein it will more of a personal story.
Yeah, that's personal. That's not professional, no?
Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay. Thank you.
Right?
Mm,
Uh, Now you brought up a good point that let's say I have already have relationship with, let's say, Indigo, right?
mm,
So now let's identify more accounts that I could potentially target uh, if I already have Indigo Airlines as a potential customer.
mm.
So as a seed company, I'm putting in Indigo Airlines. That's one company I already have relationship with. No similar account because your company is not Indigo Airlines. Sorry, yours is
Interglobe
this.
Aviation Limited.
Yeah,
And it will go global only India, because most
global,
typically
global.
that's important because that's how. Oh, Air Indian. That's it. It's only finding one. So
Because
it's
because because Nexaret is India. Right now, I'm selling only to India. Is there
uh,
another airline? SpiceJet should have come up.
is
I think
Casa. Casa should be there.
Akasa should be
Akasa,
there.
Spice,
Yeah.
and there are a lot of other companies. But if I want to make sure, Nippon is there, Gagan should be there, Nippon is coming, Anjali,
So
this
let's
guy.
say now I want to target Nippon because I already have a relationship with Indigo. I identified Air India as a potential new account as well. I searched for people in Air India and I found certain people that I should reach out to. But
Hmm.
again, I am now stepping into sales territory. I'm stepping away from relationship orchestration.
Himanshu, I'm still, anyways, I think because, so probably if I want to see global companies, then I have to remove this, like I have to show myself global, I think. I'm just
Yeah.
thinking that it is not showing the full. Okay, that can be taken care. Understood. You carry on,
Right.
please. I think it's interesting. Mhm.
Right. So now I have Nippon's whole profile. Now let's say I want to step into the sales shoes, right? Now to do sales, I essentially need to know a lot more knowledge around my ideal customer, right? So far, what I was doing was relationship orchestration, people that I met, and I wanted to maintain a relationship with them. Now let me step into a sales area. Typically, when a salesperson is engaged, they need to define a quick campaign, right? So let's say this is what AI Circle demo. Who am I targeting? Let's say I'm targeting CFOs.
Mhm.
Which industry? Let's say aviation and I don't know, professional services. Uh, what would be Ankur? What would be your area? Like professional services, but you are into accounting and all that, right?
Yeah, so you
Accounting
can say,
services,
yeah, you write accounting right now, no problem. I think we're just doing.
and let's say the goal is to make you, I mean, prod you to have a introductory call.
Yes.
And the channels, let's say I'm going to use is email and LinkedIn.
Mhm.
And so it has already designed a good campaign for me. And I'm just adding, let's say I want to reach out to Ankur and Harsh.
Mhm.
Now, this is where agentic AI comes into the picture. Now, mind you, there are 6 agents that are running right now. There is a first agent which is doing a research around Ankur, second agent which is extracting some signals around Ankur, as well as his company. Uh, what has been any updates around Ankur Single recently, as well as around Indigo. Third agent is now going to assess the opportunity of reaching out to Ankur for Nexareth. Remember, I had onboarded myself as a Nexareth founder, right?
Mhm.
It's going to do a persona intelligence so that it knows how Ankur writes, how I write, and kind of do a good outreach based on that. It's going to build an outreach strategy, the fifth agent. And then finally, the sixth agent is going to generate some messages.
Mm. Understood.
Give it a couple of minutes.
The only thing is that's something, there is an implicit assumption that this guy is active on LinkedIn. Like this guy should be, because then only you will be
Absolutely.
able to, yeah, because that's something.
Right.
And
It
even
needs digital
even though
footprint,
that
right?
guy only likes, this guy doesn't write anything, just likes anything or repost, then also it will track that guy.
As long as, yeah, as long as he has a LinkedIn profile. I need some sort of digital footprint to do an outreach, right? Remember, Ankur, I have now stepped into the sales persona. It's no more relationship orchestration now.
Just a one question meanwhile.
Sure.
So
Amit.
suppose if I have some product and I want
Mhm.
to out the target companies or the
Mhm.
audience. So can I do directly that as well, or
So I would say go to Discover, I mean, if you have a company name that you want to target, you can start with that,
Mhm.
right? Or if you want to do, like, say, cross search, right? Let's say, give me an example, right? Give me an example of a company that you would like to sell your product to.
Google.
Google.
It's just we are doing random, yeah.
Any other
Google.
company that you feel your product would be a good
Bata,
fit for?
Bata,
Bata.
Sorry,
Bata,
Sparta.
Bata,
BATA. Bata.
BATA, Bata.
Hmm. Hmm.
So because you said Bata, it picked up Nike.
So
Hmm.
similar category of the companies will arrive.
Absolutely. It's taking a lot of information. It's taking into account what I built as my company, right?
Mhm.
Remember, I had told it what my company does. So it's taking into account that information as well,
Okay, okay.
along with
Fine.
the target company's information, right? The
So
seed companies.
the way you build your company profile according to that, that search will work in
Absolutely.
that
So
direction.
it's taking a cross
Yeah,
mapping, right?
yeah,
What does Google do? What does Nextara do? What does Bata
correct.
do? What does Nextara do? And accordingly, it's building a relationship. Obviously, it's going to be pretty random right now because I've given it a very limited information. It doesn't know a lot about Nextara apart from what I told based off on my website,
Yeah.
right? So the more you give it, the more target companies or seed companies you give, the better the output would be. Now let's go back to the campaign that we had created, and I had enrolled Ankur and Harsh to this, right? So now all the 6 agents have run, and accordingly, the outreach strategy agent has given me certain recommendations. According to the outreach strategy agent, I should send Ankur a LinkedIn connection request with a brief, non-pitchy note establishing relevance. I should follow it up on after 2 days with an email. Uh, give few more days with another email, and then finally another email. Right?
I
This
think this
is
is what happens with me. I think this is a real. When an email comes to
absolutely,
me, I can see how emails are coming every 2, 3 days, and they keep on
absolutely
changing the topic. Okay, so that's
right.
not someone is doing human. That's a AI
Absolutely
which is
not. Yeah,
working in the background. Okay,
absolutely.
okay,
Right. So
okay.
now for step one, it had recommended to me that I should do a LinkedIn connection request to Ankur. Here is that request. And remember earlier on, I had spoken about a human checkpoint. This is where that human checkpoint is missing. Ankur, you brought up a very good point that you keep getting these emails, and a lot of time you realize that they should either go to spam or the system starts marking them as spam. This is
Yes.
where most of the current tools are failing because either the system is able to deduce that it's AI generated or
Hmm.
they use templatized messages. If it's templatized message and 5 people have marked it as spam, Gmail would already know that this is now a spam email. So before it reaches the sixth recipient, Gmail will put it in spam. In this case, what's happening is Relic is generating it in real time based upon what's the latest news that has come out around Indigo, right? Now,
Hmm.
because it's so latest, even your email service providers like Google or Hotmail, Outlook, etc., they are unable to gauge whether it's a spam or not because
Himanshu,
the
hearing.
wording.
Sorry, I'm just want to stop because now we are talking very real, and I can
Mhm.
just like probably your step 3 email.
Yeah.
Wherein Indigo is CFO transition. So there is a new CFO who has joined in. So probably if you ask, and I'm just trying to understand that probably as a
Hmm.
human intelligence, I believe that this third email should go show first because
Hmm.
that's what real changes happen in the company. Yeah. Because that something will trigger me. Because the first email, if you ask me, first two emails will go in spam.
That's the
Yeah.
human checkpoint, right? Ankur, you
Yeah.
brought up a very, very good point.
Hmm.
This is what the system thought,
Hmm.
right? It had to
Hmm.
take into account what Nexarath is trying to sell, what's the core value proposition. So it should talk about, uh, I mean, it realized that hiring is a lot more important to talk about. So it prioritized this email. But according to you, the CFO transition is a lot more important. So you can send this before the second email.
Okay, so this will become step one then automatically if I send this, or first two steps will go away.
No, no,
If I
they will
send this
remain.
email,
They will remain.
our system will keep a kind of a digital footprint that step three has been done. The steps are
Yes.
missing.
Yes. Right now, I can't
Oh,
send it because I'm not connected my Google
No,
account, the
that's
Gmail
fine. I
account.
think we are just doing, and
Yeah.
probably I can make changes in this email also. I can edit and all. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Can edit
Himanshu,
it. Yeah. Go ahead.
sorry. I was just saying that I heard recently that Claude would add watermark to what it generates. So I assume you are using
Hmm.
an LLM in the background. So would that
Yes.
watermark be there in these emails also?
No, because this
Mhm.
is text output.
I thought even if I am generating any document, right? Claude would be
Yeah.
adding watermark, I mean, whatever way that watermark would be, arrangement of words or anything, but that would be there in the text documents also.
Uh, so I did check the API output. So far, I've not seen anything. And obviously, there are some checks and balances built into the system.
Yeah.
Remember, when I was onboarding myself, I had given it a very small instruction. I always end my emails with appreciate your time. So
Yeah.
see, every email will have this.
Right, right. I think शायद watermark का ना हिमांशु अभी शुरू नहीं हुआ है क्लॉड का. I think they had announced this couple of days ago.
Hmm.
So maybe it's something which would happen in a few weeks.
That's an
And
evolution, right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay. I think it's
But
a
it will
problem
be
to
a
be solved
permanent
right now.
watermark. But they're saying it will be permanent watermark.
So what they're saying is कि the way it would produce text, right? I mean, as a human, obviously we would not know, but the whatever way the words are generated, any AI system would be able to detect that this text is AI generated.
Harsh, I hear your point. So recently, I had a very interesting encounter regarding this. Uh, so there are obviously AI checkers available on various websites, right? Grammarly has it. A lot of websites have it that you give it a long text and you can ask it whether this was AI generated. Uh, I pasted a blog on these checkers and I asked, hey, is this AI generated? Because I felt that while the blog was very nicely written, I was like, wow,
Mhm.
somebody spent a lot of time really crafting out a nice blog. And obviously, some told me that, hey, 95% of the content is AI generated. Uh, I picked up that blog. I gave it to, I think on that day I was using Gemini, not Anthropic. And I asked it, hey, this blog, the AI checker is telling me that it's 95% AI generated. Can you rephrase it, keep everything in the same manners, should convey the same output? But I would like the AI checker, and I did not name the AI checker to Gemini, the AI checker to
Mm.
not detect AI generation. So give me the same blog, rephrased, etc. I picked that up and I pasted in the same AI checker. This time it
Mhm.
showed me it's only 30% AI generated.
Okay, okay.
So I always say this that while your LLMs and AI are helping people, they're also helping the not so good elements as well.
Yeah, I think there is
And
already
that's why
new. Sorry, Manju.
and that's why mythos had to be contained, right? There
Yeah,
was a big
yeah.
hue and cry around that it should be first released to financial institutions before made it available to general public because general public also has hackers.
I think the day when Claude announced this, right, within a couple of days, there were other, I don't know, companies announcing or small startups, whatever. कुछ था कि भी हम लोग भी ऐसे प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च करेंगे जो वाटरमार्क को डिलीट कर देंगे. So that was
Yeah.
interesting.
I mean, and they are going to use the same AI. They're going to ask Claude to generate a tool to
Yeah,
remove the watermark. And it will
exactly.
have to do it because that's the downside of Gen AI, that if you ask Gen AI, right, hey, do you know what is going to happen tomorrow, right? Even though it doesn't have any idea what's going to happen tomorrow, it will still give you an answer.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Anyways,
I
so Harsh, since imported you as well as a prospect, these are the emails it has generated for you. Uh, I guess the kind of work you're leading at IAG, building auditable, defensible infrastructure for financial reporting through SAP and Workviva is exactly the system integrity thinking that Nexareth is also thinking about, right? So while uh, you may not be my right prospect, but essentially what I'm trying to do is through you, I'm trying to get a door opening.
So, no, this looks good, Himanshu. I think this solves a bit of moral dilemma I used to have because so many times I would see these LinkedIn messages and किसी ने 4-5 बार messages कर रखा होगा. I used to feel sorry. अच्छा ठीक है, let me reply. But now I would not feel sorry for that person.
Yes.
I
Uh,
think, but I think one thing which is harsh, I think you're right, same with me. But I think what I'm realizing that people are blindly using AI. I think that's the problem I can see. They are just use AI
Absolutely.
without going. They just push the system to send the emails without realizing because their target is to send every day 50 messages. So just do it.
Absolutely.
I think that quality check is not there, and that I'm realizing, while reading this now. That's
Yep.
something. But yeah, now I will keep this in
Uh,
mind. Yeah.
uh, Finally, if you remember, this was built to be a relationship orchestration, not sales orchestration. Uh, so, as part of that relationship orchestration, this whole tool is supposed to send emails to the people that you have met and already built a relationship with, at least, right? So that's why I prefer not to push too much on this whole sales aspect of discovering and finding target companies, etc., or adding unknown people. I always say that you should add a prospect that you know personally, feed in their email address, phone number, etc. But at the same time, it should help you, right? So it is going to research around the company that the prospect is part of, some market intelligence news, some essentially keep you on your toes if you are that professional trying to build your own personal business or a book of business.
Yeah, I think this is a good way of, even if you have met someone 15 years ago, probably
Yep,
someone is in your mobile number and you have some memory with that guy. You can use
yep,
that hook. You can use that hook, the memory hook, to reconnect with that guy. I think that's also is possible.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. And
because
that's why you should be editing any message that the system has generated with giving your personal touch as well. Hey, we met at that conference last year, right? The chances are, if you start your email like that, then the person will respond.
for me, I think for relationship, Himanshu, probably I think Pramod is one of the senior member in this cohort member, so he can share his feedback because I'm sure, getting a lot of such emails. But I think in my experience, if you have a personal hook with that gentleman or lady, if you met someone that that personal hook works. A very plain vanilla email which have doesn't work because typically the way your email, that's this email which is I can see at Indigo current hiring velocity and all. Probably people still
Mm.
don't know what is happening internally in Indigo because I have been aware of what is happening in Indigo. There are a lot of, hiring, rehiring, no hiring, everything is happening. So what people see from outside is very different. So
Absolutely.
a personal hook or a very, very specific information, which is very, very, thing will
And
make people,
that's why That's why there's no automation in this system. It's
Hmm.
deliberate. I For me, it would have been very simple when I generated all these messages. I could have
Hmm.
also enabled it to send the messages itself. And that's why I
No, I think
always
really,
keep highlighting that human checkpoint. If you
yeah,
remember in my deck,
yeah.
right,
I can, I
I
can, I
always
can
say
correlate now.
that I always say that the control point is what's missing, and that's why there's always this push pull happening between automation and people realizing that it's an automated email.
I think now I understand the name. Yeah, well, like, it's more of a relationship IQ. I think it's more of
Absolutely.
a, yeah, I think I can see that now because I'm realizing over last 25 years, I would have met thousands and thousands of people, and probably we just missed the entire cycle. And probably this
Absolutely.
is wherein you can fill that void. This is kind of a diary in a digital form wherein you control everything and it keeps on popping
It's
up.
Rolodex. I'm not sure if you have
Because even the birthdays,
seen.
I don't know if it pop up the birthdays also because LinkedIn provides the date, the date of birthday and all. So probably should pop up everything, uh, Himanshu,
Right.
because
So
that way I think you
this
really build it. Yeah.
so this used to be a Rolodex before the advent of
Oh,
uh,
okay. Okay.
digital communication. People used to have these cards, and on each card they would write down the name of that person, right? And then the card was blank. You would keep writing that I met this person on this day, right? And you can actually add memories around this as well.
Understood. No, I
So
think it makes sense. No,
With
I'm
Relic, I'm trying to recreate that whole device.
so right now you're running a subscription model or how it is working, Himanshu? Or is it still in the,
It's a honestly, so far it has been a hobby project. I, remember I told you I wanted
I
to
think then
learn
we should
Cloud
take it
Code.
right now.
Go ahead.
before you go before you make it because this is for
Yeah,
me. I think it's very, I think I'm being very candid. I'm being, this is really cool because I'm realizing, my or maybe anyone on this call, probably that relationship angle we normally miss, and we are more transactional when we talk to someone. Probably you are
absolutely.
making it less transactional and more workable because this may not help you immediately. If you ask me, this may not help you
Yes,
immediately, but probably if you keep a track on that, maybe over a period of 6 to 12 months, this will start showing
yes,
benefit because then you are not doing a transaction, you're doing an interaction. I think
absolutely.
I think most of the time people do transaction while LinkedIn message and everything.
Right.
Cool.
So I think something broke around LinkedIn. I'll check. But now the interaction. Remember, I sent you the LinkedIn connection request that
Mhm.
also got logged, and I logged generally interaction type. Right, I met you, or I WhatsApped you, or I just want to add a note around our interaction. So all of this is being fed in that Rolodex. And the next
Mm.
time it will generate a message for you, an outreach for you, it's going to take into account all of that information.
If someone responded to my LinkedIn message or WhatsApp, that doesn't
Hmm.
get recorded here, na? It will only show one side.
No, it will,
It will also
because
link sync with your WhatsApp.
I've already not WhatsApp, because I've not I've disabled the phone integration right
No,
now.
but if you enable the WhatsApp, then it will also record the WhatsApp
Yes,
conversation.
yes.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Because I think, yeah, Harsh, you're saying something.
I was
Yeah.
just going on a different tangent actually. You can complete first, Ankur.
No, no, I'm just trying to. I'm now actually, Harsh, I'm being very frank. I'm just thinking, it's an AI conversation, but I'm just thinking as a more of a potential tool to leverage it.
It is.
I have not
No,
thought that this will
definitely.
go this way, this session will go this way, but this is giving me a lot of ideas in my mind.
It
And
is,
that's
it
the whole
is.
idea. That's the whole idea, Ankur. When I was designing the knowledge around this session, right? Now that we have spoken about Relic, the whole idea is that don't think of Relic as a tool for you to use. Think what it instigates in your brain around your day-to-day life. That what is a problem? Where are you facing any challenges? where could this whole AI technology could really be helpful. If I, as a non-coder, could build this, and I'll be frank, probably what, 100, 200 hours. But then in that time, I have actually explored a lot as part of building Relic. Right? If you had a very small niche problem that you could potentially solve using AI in 5 hours. Harsh, you were saying something. Sorry, we cut you off.
Yeah, I was just wanted to share a recent interaction. So I posted an
Hmm.
article on LinkedIn, and there was a person who was trying to contact me, and he shared my article on LinkedIn, like and just quoted something from
Hmm.
the article. So this was a bit of ego massaging, right? Obviously,
Hmm.
I
Reposted your
mean,
article, yes.
he posted my article, so then I connected with him, and I have a meeting scheduled with that person. But I was just
Hmm.
thinking in terms of this software as well. If this software could, I don't know, show or highlight some particular post from certain people, so that
Absolutely.
yeah, that might be helpful. So that I can just choose maybe within the software itself. Okay, do I want to repost it? Do I want to put a comment so that the other
Mhm.
person feels okay? Yes, I'm paying attention. It's not just I'm sending him LinkedIn messages.
Honestly, nowadays, you can't believe that the person did it manually. I wouldn't believe it anymore.
Is it okay? Okay.
Everyone, everyone has built or used a certain AI-based assistant like Relic to really
Okay.
help build out the relationships. And I've personally seen this. I saw a gentleman. If I looked at his, I went to his profile. Uh, Let me see if I remember his name. Completely forgot his name. But if I looked at his profile and I looked at his posts, I could see that he has literally done almost 200 likes or reposts or comments in a single day. And
Wow.
if I look
Okay.
at the timestamp, they were like literally few seconds apart.
Okay.
Obviously,
Okay.
he's using a tool.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no way, no human can actually read through a long post, generate a relevant comment on it, and repost it within few seconds.
Yeah.
So
Also, I will talk
uh,
to you offline. I need to know such apps.
I think we all
I
need
am
to know such
meeting
as.
you. I will meet you in person now. Probably I have that kind of advantage because
yeah,
this is something what Harsh said. This is a real thing happens with us also. That if you
absolutely.
want to reach out to someone, the best way is that to like or repost their LinkedIn or probably
Yeah,
wherever the social media presence, and it's a reality. I think
yeah.
so.
Now let me get out of Relic and let me talk about uh, uh, so Relic was one thing, right? All of you have access, you can sign up and start using it. But let me talk about the journey of building Relic, right? Uh, Now, what Relic does is just a snapshot, right? What I want every one of you to take away from this is you can also build a similar tool. I'm not saying sales tool, relationship tool, but whatever you're facing, right? Whether if it's something to do with reporting within your organization, whether it's something relating to, let's say, an email assistant for any and every email that you are getting, right? Whether it's building a good prioritization calendar around the meetings that you have on your work calendar, right? Think of a problem and then see how you can use AI to create a solution to really help you solve that problem, right? Uh, what I picked was relationship orchestration, right? What I did was how do I derive maximum value, not essentially deploy AI for each and every step. So remember, I did not design the system to auto send emails. I designed the system to generate a good starting point for me so that I can now edit that email or the message and then send it. Sometimes we do have that writer's block, right? I don't know what to send. I don't know how to even start, right? It will either require me to think about uh, putting on that sales hat and do research around my target or the person that I'm trying to reach out to. But still, you always felt that block. So what I picked was a small, really niche idea around what is it that will maximize the value of AI. I should not deploy AI across the board. Second
I
thing,
think
you the initial onboarding might have felt friction because you had to give it a lot of knowledge. But then don't hold yourself back because starting has a lot of friction. Because the bigger the friction, that means more knowledge you are providing to the system, and it's an investment that will help you down the road. So if you are building something where you feel, hey, this solution is requiring a lot of information upfront, push through it. Give it that information. The more context AI has, the better the output. And finally, always have a human checkpoint. Do not let AI make actions, or do not let AI take actions on your behalf blindly. So I would, if I had to leave three things for you to think about when you're building a solution yourself, these are the three things.
this is very useful, Himanshu. Thanks a lot for sharing. I think we all are, all of us are having ideas probably how we can use ReadyQ. I think it's not just for business, right? Even if you are like doing a job and looking to change or looking to grow, and like in a couple of years, and you want to keep that network of other people in other companies, so it would be really helpful. So this is good to see.
Thanks a lot. Um,
Himanshu,
so,
thanks.
yeah,
It's very, very, very interesting. So, can you take us through a few steps? I know you have spent a lot of time in building this agent and all. So, if you are a beginner, then what are the 5, 10 steps? I know this is a very silly question.
I'll help
You will
you.
become a
Yeah, I was
yeah.
I was going to get into that,
Okay,
right?
great. Thank you.
Uh, and in fact, as part of Q&A, this was one of the questions that I was expecting to hear, that without having an engineering background, how do you build this, right? I'll quickly show you how I built it.
Mm,
And honestly, I did this. I went to Claude AI, right? Uh, and I actually asked Claude itself. Let me go to the top of this. How fast can I go? Mm, Can't go fast enough. Bear with me for one sec.
So you keep
Is
saving
there a
all
hope?
prompts pertaining to this in one file so that you can refer to it again.
So this is Claude AI. This is the
Uh,
web portal, right?
But whatever prompt you did in
So
Cloud AI, the all are saved, from the
yeah,
beginning.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So this was what, March 4th, 2026, 8:44 p.m. That was
Okay.
one fine day. I thought, hey, I want to use Claude Code, and I want to learn what the hell Claude Code is, right? I gave it a simple prompt. Hey, I'm trying to set up Claude Code on my machine. Uh, Fortunately, I had an AWS account uh, because of my past startup. But essentially, I asked it, hey, help me set up Claude Code for the first time. And it started giving me very to the point instructions. Open your terminal, run these commands, launch Claude Code, right? And it literally walked me through. You see this? Help me with detailed step by step from step two. So all of this I kept doing, and I'll show you my terminal window. It asked me to open a terminal window. I opened a terminal window. And this is how I've been coding this whole application. So earlier today, I had a challenge in my application. It was not fetching the LinkedIn profile. Uh, so I'll just show you. Mm, See this? I'm doing a new user sign up on Relic. In the step one, as soon as I click fill bio from LinkedIn, I'm getting this error. Could you check what's broken? Plain English. And because this is the terminal on which I've been coding or building this application, it knew exactly where to look for. And it told me where the problem is. That one of the API keys that I was using was out of credits. All I had to do was refill the credits, and uh, I gave it the new API key. Here is the new API key. After refilling the credit, please replace it anywhere and everywhere this API is used. And it did everything by itself. So instead of depending on a human trying to teach me Claude Code or helping me build Relic, I actually used Claude AI itself. And all this long chat that you see is around building Relic. Wherever I faced any sort of bottleneck, I asked Claude itself, hey, which model should I use? I keep hearing this Sonnet, Opus, Haiku, etc. Which model should I use? Help me, right? So it gave me the guide. This is what you should use. So as someone who wants to build a solution, I think AI has enabled us both in terms of providing the tool to build it, as well as providing us that the all knowledgeable sounding board to give you the answers as well.
Manshu, I think one thing from my experience, and I just want
Mhm.
to take a view, if anyone
Sure.
else, that probably, when you use Claude code and that, sometimes the conversation become little abstract. The kind of things it tells you, you feel abstract. Like
Hmm.
I'm from finance background, so typically, if it is about numbers or something about numbers, we easily pick up. If it is more a language they're writing, so it becomes very abstract. So is it like there is a better way to do it? Because that's the problem I face. I don't know how other face, but I face the problem.
So, valid point, Ankur. What you're talking about is Claude.ai chat, what I'm showing you on the screen.
Yes, yes, yes,
Claude
yes.
Code is a very different tool altogether. It's meant to build something. It's not meant to do a Q&A with you,
Okay.
right?
So what you're saying, once you set up the Claude code, then
Hmm.
it will itself does everything. It will just keep on chatting with you because ultimately it will also ask you questions. It will probe you questions or how.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So okay, got it.
That's the key difference. So there's a big difference between code and chat. What we use every day is chat.
Hmm.
Code is your friend who doesn't have a lot of knowledge in terms of worldly knowledge, but it has all the skills.
Hmm.
You tell it to build a car, it will build the car. You can't do a Q&A about the car with that friend.
Hmm. You will keep on guiding it. Just have to keep on guiding it. Understood.
Yes, yeah. So you have to use chat. Like, for example, I use chat. Uh, Say this message, right? Again, March 4th. I'm working on an idea of building a revenue orchestration engine startup called
So this was
Salesforce.
on Claude Chat or Claude Code? This was
This
on
is
Claude
Claude
Chat.
Chat. This
Okay.
was chat.
Okay.
And it kept guiding me. Hey, do this, run these commands. uh, Again, remember, this is chat. So it's asking me questions. One question before you start. What's your vision? Who's your target customer? What's the key thing? Claude Code will not ask you these questions.
Okay. 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 Understood. Now I'm clear. Okay. So once
Right?
it helps you to set up the Claude Code, then Claude Code you start working directly on building an app. That's it. Or
Correct.
building whatever you want to
Correct.
build.
So I
Okay.
used chat to kind of deliberate, to brainstorm what I'm trying to build. And I used Claude Code to actually build it.
Got it.
There are
Hmm.
places where I actually ask the chat, hey, what should I tell Claude Code if I want to build this?
Oh, okay.
Because Claude Code will not respond. It will it's waiting for my instructions to do something, right? So think of it this way: chat is your spouse, and Claude
Hmm.
Code is your servant,
Ah,
right?
oh,
You discuss
okay.
with your spouse what is going to be cooked for dinner tonight. You don't discuss that with your servant, right? You To your servant, you just tell them, make kadai paneer tonight.
Okay. Got it. Now I think understood. So probably you start with uh, Claude chat
Chat,
and then move on to this. Okay.
yes, yes,
Got it.
right?
Okay. Got it. Now
Claude
clear.
Code will never say, I don't know how to make kadai paneer. But that's something you have to know with your spouse. Hey, do you think our servant knows how to make kadai paneer? So
But
the
one,
wife may
but
say
what
that,
if,
hey,
like, once I know what dish to cook, I'm just trying to understand. Once
yeah,
I'm set up the Claude code and I know what dish I want to cook, so it will, and I instruct Claude code that I need this dish with such ingredients and this, like a framework.
right,
Then probably it will start building that dish. That's how it works.
absolutely,
It will keep on asking.
absolutely,
Oh,
absolutely. So chat, I mean, your spouse, you discuss that you should make kadai paneer, but then you may feel, hey, the servant may not know the recipe. So with your chat, what you will do is, hey, give me a good instruction to give my servant if I want to have kadai paneer. So chat will essentially give you everything.
and you
Hey, say
recommend that the Claude code, sorry, chat, you should use this Sonnet or like
sonnet.
what
Sonnet is good. Sonnet
Sonnet
is
is
good.
good. Okay.
Yes.
And at Claude Code, you don't have to, there also you need to decide which Sonnet or
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
So Sonnet is good both sides for both.
Yes.
Okay.
But I'll
So you
tell
don't
you, you
recommend
bring up a very
Opus.
good point.
Hmm.
I'll show you one thing. So as I was So essentially, what I used Claude was at multiple places. A,
Mhm.
I used Claude Chat to help me set up with Claude Code and build this Relic solution, right? The chat was Sonnet, Claude Sonnet, right? Then I used Claude Sonnet again in my Claude Code session to follow my
Right.
instructions to build this solution.
Mm.
That's the second place I used Claude.
Mm.
The third place I used Claude was within my application when I built the agents around researching, right?
Mm.
So all these six agents, the research, the signal extraction, opportunity analysis, these are also LLM queries.
So this runs on Claude, or like these are like this is Claude is
Absolutely.
the diagram. Okay.
Yes.
So all the tokens, it's being your tokens are getting consumed when someone is using it.
Yes. 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 So look at
Oh,
it this way. So from research perspective, the system sent all this information, name, email address, LinkedIn URL, right?
uh,
And the output was this.
got it. Clear.
Right? This was the third place where LLM was used. You brought up a good point, Sonnet versus Opus, right? So I
Because Opus
actually
is very.
deliberated.
Mm,
I
mm,
deliberated with the system, with Claude Chat, that which of the six agents should use Sonnet, which of the six agents should use Opus, right? So for me, the strategy agent, which became a critical one, is using Opus.
But Opus consume a lot of tokens. Opus just, at just
That's
my
fine.
experience, it's
That's fine. Thing
just
is, don't be stingy on areas which are important, right?
okay.
Message generation is the most critical for you. So don't be stingy on saving tokens here.
Okay.
Use the most extensive LLM to generate that message, because this message is going to be your face. Research, you can pick a cheaper one because all it's doing is collecting a lot of data from the internet. Signal extraction, you can use the middle one, let's say Sonnet. So there's a cheaper, which is Haiku. There's a middle that is Sonnet, and there's an expensive, which is Opus. Signal extraction, use the middle one because Now there, you need a little bit of intelligence to extract or to separate noise from music, but you don't need an extensive agent for that or extensive LLM for that. Message generation, you should use the most extensive one because it's going to be your name on it.
Got it.
Himanshu, can I ask if you have tried Chinese AI here? If they have, if they are
Uh,
good enough. Yeah.
Honestly, Harsh, at this time when I was building this, I kind of stuck to one. For me,
Sure.
building it was more critical than the AI being used behind the scenes. I could easily swap out the model behind each of these agents, but for me, building it was more critical.
Definitely.
So, Himanshu, I think I will put this question differently. What I was saying. So, is it you have a more trust built up with Claude, or is it because of some other reason? Like because the Chinese model could have done the same thing.
Uh,
What's the trust
Again,
issue?
let me put it this way. I was trying my hands on building a car. Can I really build a car? For me, it didn't matter whether it had a Mercedes engine or a BMW engine.
But Chinese model are cheap, na? That's the
It
question in my
doesn't
mind. Like,
matter. I was focusing more on building the car, right? I
so
was
you
not
find
focusing on
Claude, like you
whether
could
the
have picked
car
up. No, no.
will give me
Question is, you
20
could have picked
kmpl
up.
or 5 kmpl.
No, but you
I'm
could have picked
testing
up a
myself.
Chinese.
Can I build a car?
Okay, maybe I can
Once you
suggest
build
you.
the car, that's when you can keep swapping out, right? Whether
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying now you can change the LLM behind it.
And that's where I was arriving at, Himanshu, actually.
sorry,
Like, yeah, that's
sorry, I
what.
lost you for a minute.
No, I'm
Uh,
saying,
uh,
Himanshu, that's why what you're saying, and probably just to add to it, that you're saying once you build your app where you were comfortable with, now after once you build the app, then now you can change the LLM in the background after that.
Absolutely, absolutely. You
Okay.
build
I was not
first,
that.
optimize later, right? If you start focusing on optimization on day one, saving costs, etc., then you will not end up building a car itself.
No,
definitely.
great point. I think it is a great point. Yeah.
Himanshu, we hear nowadays there are a lot of articles that there would not be any requirement of prompts going forward. You'll move to graphs and all. What is this?
Sorry, Pramod, your voice was not absolutely clear. Could you repeat your question?
So we hear a lot of articles nowadays that there will not be any requirement of prompts anymore while
Hmm.
working in Gemini or Chat GPT, whatever. There would be graphs or there would be some other technologies which are coming in. So
Hmm.
people like me who are already late are baffled that how should we go about this?
Uh, Prompts will always be there
Hmm.
because even though 1% of GenAI users may shift to graphs, 99% are still comfortable with prompts. Think of it, Perplexity came with this whole, you can say, loud noise that you won't need Google anymore. But what did Google do? Google just added a Google search assistant in their search. Perplexity could not replace Google because that's the user experience that everyone is comfortable with. So people have gotten comfortable with prompts. Prompts are always going to be there. There will be optimization behind the scene on how you don't simply provide the prompt to LLM and then change it to a lang graph or something, but then prompt will always be the front end all the while. And that's practically how LLMs got adopted at the first place. Uh, AI ML has been there for 2 decades now. It's only when ChatGPT created that user experience of you being able to put a prompt is what made the whole AI explosion in the last 3 years.
Got it. Yeah.
So if I had to leave all of you with one thought is don't be scared of AI. And if you want to build something, ask AI itself that, hey, this is what I'm thinking, help me build it. And you'll be surprised that how quickly and how efficiently AI responds and takes you down a rabbit hole, honestly speaking, because Claude Code is something which doesn't get tired. So I've spent I mean, 3 a.m. and I'm still coding away just by prompts because it doesn't get tired. And every prompt, it's just improving the tool that I'm building.
So I think the key to start with that, whatever the thought or the problem you have in your mind, you need to start with AI, ask,
Yes.
start
Just,
implementing that. Oops.
yes. Yes. In front of you, what I can simply do is this. I am thinking of building a GL reconciliation tool. I guess this is pretty much in your
I think
areas.
that I tried, Himanshu. That was brilliantly. I did a BRS
God,
reconciliation
code,
tool, and I was able to
help
create it.
me start building it.
I think
I have
from hmm,
technical knowledge.
it can build it. I have seen it. I have full trust on this.
Start with helping me to install Claude Code.
I think in the initial, Himanshu, what you mentioned, even the Anurag session last week,
Mhm.
we were talking about building a kind of a app website. I don't know the right word, but app website which can solve a real problem. I think these
Absolutely.
reconciliations are, if you ask me, is very easy. I think Mulesh, you are there, Mohit, you are there. You would have been talking through at least to me one to one that those things you've already done it. But I think wherein the I can see a real thing benefit of this AI now that you solve some real problems even for the organization. I think
Absolutely.
some real problems which just have some meat in it. Because
Fine. So I'll tell you
otherwise,
something. As being a partner in consulting firms, let's
Mhm.
say one of the key problems that I could solve today much faster, that I always had challenges earlier on, was, let's say, asking my senior consultant or consultant to do some research on a prospect or a client and help me build a deck, right? And then the senior consultant would go away for a couple of days and then come back with a deck where we will have to deliberate. And it will take us a good 2 weeks before I had a deck that I could run through with my client. That's something that I can solve quickly today. This deck that I showed you today, I ran you through. I started building using AI at what, this morning, and I would give it a prompt, I would give it a command, and just walk away, take care of my chores, come back, and then give it another prompt and update it. Ankur, we changed the
Yeah,
the agenda last minute as well.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. I mean,
But the
I
thing
said the
is,
user.
building
Yeah.
this manually myself, it would have taken, if nothing more, an hour. Right? So
So,
pick a problem. I think
mhm.
identifying a problem is is the moat that we all have, having so much of experience under our belt.
I think you talk about domain knowledge. I think the domain knowledge will help
Absolutely.
you to build something. I think great. I think for me, Claude, Chat GPT, and all are beyond now PowerPoint and all. I think this is very easy. At least I use it very frequently. I did a session with like I told you, Manchu, with the ICFI Business School, and I was able to
Mhm.
build the slides, and I think a lot of appreciation happened there from the school. And I was amazed that, I just used my domain knowledge, built up a slide, do a couple of iterations, and it worked very well in my presentation for an hour to the MBA students. So I realized that
Absolutely.
my domain knowledge was paying me, but otherwise I would have not been able to. I'm become so lazy to create slides now, at least in my personal space. No need to create slides.
Absolutely.
It's just
Absolutely.
it's just 15-minute job.
Absolutely.
One thing which I've
So,
lately realized is that, sorry, I was just sharing that I've lately realized
yeah,
Yeah.
that,
sure.
I mean, we all are using AI for emails, right? And I'm developing this tendency where I'm not very confident. If I've written a long email myself, I'm not very confident before I press the send button now,
Just
and that's not a
record.
good thing.
And Harsh, shall I
Yeah.
shall I add to it? So probably
Yeah.
sometimes the problem with me, even you're writing a WhatsApp message to some senior guy, you're thinking of putting. I'm being very candid, and sometimes I double check with Claude and ChatGPT, and it gives me different replies. So you get so used to I mean, this is
Yeah.
a real thing which is happening. I'm not trying to, joke. I'm saying that's a real thing. Even a WhatsApp message, you want to make sure it's very sharp, clean, reach out to people in the right way, So it's being used like a commodity now. I think these things are a commodity.
Yep.
Yeah.
You and frankly, the other person also doing the same way, the someone who is reaching out to you. So at least I'm not feeling shame now.
One more thing I
Of
want
not
to add here
responding.
is that one more thing I want to add here.
Yeah,
Like earlier,
Manish.
it was very difficult to draft an email which we need to send to all employees in the organization. We have to multiple times review it, write it. Now just go ChatGPT Cloud, write a message, then get the output. So the
Absolutely.
Only
next
thing,
one will be
Mulesh,
like,
the only thing which I realized and what Himanshu also mentioned, this is my experience that you know uh, the email which normally comes from Claude or these things, these are very non-personalized. Like they give you a
yes,
email. I think one thing I learned that you have to put up a hook in every email. It looks it coming from your email ID. Else, everyone is smart enough to know this is an AI generated email. So probably
mhm,
some hook should be there which shows that this is Ankur, Mulesh, Harsh, or anyone else is writing. And this is where your intelligence is left for that last 30 seconds. And this is what I do most of the time. When I create something, at the end, I have to spend time to make sure what one hook I put it looks real. It's where you
Hmm.
spend time now. That
yeah,
human element will
absolutely.
not go away. If and trust me,
Yeah.
the people who are using Claude even for LinkedIn post, which is very frequent now. Suddenly, you see LinkedIn is full of LinkedIn posts these days. Everyone's writing LinkedIn posts. Everyone has become a content creator these days. And when you read
Can,
those the content, you realize it's a generated piece.
And that's
So
can
where,
when I
I?
write,
Ankur, if you remember, when I was setting up my profile on Releek, I gave
uh,
it a simple prompt, right? I always end my emails with appreciate your time. Right?
yeah,
That becomes my branding.
I will give you another example because since Mulesh is a very relevant point and we have only last 5 minutes. So typically when I every week I publish what I did on AI every week. And when I ask Claude or ChatGPT, they give me something, but still they are not able to tell me the soul of that entire conversation. Like they will never give me a soul. They will just help me with based on transcript and everything that this is what you should do. But the soul of the conversation that today what I think is the most relevant piece, like
Mhm.
Harsh, just to give you an example, when I did with you were not there last week when we did Anurag said a lot of things. So the hook I picked up was you can create you can create with one employee a $1 billion company. That was a hook which I created. you know
Mhm.
so and probably that picked up very fast. It was most of the people globally like that post
Okay.
than people in India. And I realized that hook chat gpt or Claude has not given me. That the hook I created. So the point which Mulesh you were in, I'm just giving a very live example that kind of a 30-second intelligence. And probably Harsh, we are becoming too lazy to do that also now.
Can
Frankly,
I? Can I just add basically one thing how I'm doing this, and actually I'm being more lazy. So what I've done is created this project in Claude. I've taken my actual emails, long emails which I've written in the past. I've pasted that, okay, this is how I write emails, and given some instruction. I'm kind of direct but not too direct, etc., etc. So now and I don't want anything in bold. So I've given my long list of instructions how I want emails to be. So now whatever comes out of Claude, that very much looks like me writing it rather than anyone
Oh,
else.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember I had a employee working with me in my previous startup, and uh, this guy's English was terrible. Right? He would make a lot of grammatical bad choice of words, etc. Right? Uh, Suddenly, I start seeing a lot of LinkedIn posts from him, and honestly, the posts themselves had those grammatical errors, bad choice of words. He literally showed me. So using Grok, I've already given Grok the way I write, and so Grok is also making the same mistakes that I know that I make.
he wants to keep it real.
Yep.
I think Himanshu, since we are only 3 minutes left, so probably before I conclude the session, I just want audience to speak if anyone wants to say anything, because I just want to make sure we leave on time. Any audience,
I just
anyone
wanted
else? Yeah, Harsh, please over to you. Please, please.
So I just wanted to quickly share with something if anyone finds that useful. So basically, I've been also trying to build small things using Claude, and what I have done is I have given basically made a Python program with Claude, and what I do is I would do all my thinking process with Claude, like Himanshu, what you showed, and then I would ask Claude to produce basically a detailed MD file or whatever thought process we had. And then what that Python file does is it takes that thought process, that MD file, it pushes to five other AIs, brings back their results. I have to copy paste that result file into Claude. And believe me, if I have done this 20 times, 19 times, there have always been some very important findings which Claude missed. So I find this a really useful tool in building anything.
Absolutely. The thing is, Harsh, you are still talking words. For me, Python is a snake. I don't. So I am that level of techie, so to say, right? I recently learned MD means Markdown. And when I started with Cloud Code, I didn't even knew what MD is. I so 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 I try to dumb it down as much as possible so that, and I think that's where,
Someone mute. I think
yeah,
someone is not on
the
mute.
Malaysia is not on mute. So,
Manish. Yeah, please.
yeah, the whole intent is, as business leaders, what can we do to really solve our day-to-day challenges instead of really being worried about what AI is doing, where the world is going, right? For me personally, it has always been what has been taking a lot of time or brain space or neurons in my day-to-day life, right? As I'm building my new venture called Nixareth, right? Uh, Doing an outreach to VCs, to potential customers. Um, I mean, for me, finding a customer is a better use of my time rather than drafting a good email for them. So finding that good use case is the crux of the game, which the new generation cannot because they have not experienced anything. I
And
hope there's no Gen Z in this.
they're starting with AI as a base. I think that's the problem. But I think one thing I realized over last 2 weeks at least, uh, by listening to you and the other member, that I think you have to start somewhere in case you want to
Absolutely.
build something. I think you have to start somewhere. I think till that time you will just think it from outside. You will never.
Yep.
Maybe some hours may be wasted in the beginning. It is because you are also learning in that journey. But once you start, I think then you start enjoying it something, and probably the term,
Absolutely.
Himanshu, the last thing which I learned when the last week, which you have not mentioned, but probably the same thing you will say. Initially, you may be able to build up a minimum viable product. You will be able to build
Mhm.
something very basic, and probably over a period of iterations, you will be able to create a more marketable or something usable. So there is a journey
Right.
which will go. On day one, you
Yep.
will not have anything good. I think day one it may be crap, but
Yeah. You
somewhere you
keep
will
building
reach.
on it. You keep
Yeah.
building on it, right? As a hobby. But the best part is that since this assistant never gets tired, the everything boils down to your own tenacity on how much time you want to really spend with this assistant. But uh, yes, you will achieve a Rolls Royce if you keep building on this. There's no doubt about it. Start with a Maruti.
No, but I think it's a really, I think this is for me today's more motivational session in terms of keeping myself or other members if they feel the same way to do that. But I think there is a clear opportunity. We all are experienced people on this in this cohort, and even if you're using our 2 decade, 3 decades, or whatever time we have spent in the corporate to build something, I think we can start. And I think, as you rightly said, you're not a tech guy in a sense, though from IIT, but still you did it. So probably we also are CS, but not. So maybe we can
we
also
have
do
the
something.
we have the added advantage of our experience. We know exactly what challenges any organization faces.
Yes.
Right. Right. That's the moat
Yeah,
that
yeah.
nobody can replicate. A recent CA or a recent college graduate cannot replicate that experience. No matter
Mhm.
how much access they have to AI or LLMs, etc., they just cannot replicate that experience. You ask LLM
Yes.
what are the current challenges a finance organization faces, and it will blurt out 10. You ask it more, it will blurt out 100, right? But they wouldn't know, even the LLM wouldn't know which one is the most impactful for an organization. That comes with experience.
Yeah, and I think even if you ask the LLM, they will give you some random answer.
Absolutely.
Probably
It
that
has
not
to.
be really relevant. It not be relevant. We
You
just
ask it what's going to happen tomorrow, it will give you an answer. I mean, the LLM knows it's not going to get shut down, right? So I will give you an answer.
we just want token to be consumed. Great.
Yeah.
I think Himanshu, thanks for your time. I
Sure.
think I'm really grateful. I think we had a very wonderful session. And unless and until audience has anything to add or say something, we will close the session. Just take a pause now.
So
Just want to
give
say
me,
thank you to
I
Himanshu.
think, carry on, Nimit, sorry.
No, just want to say thank you to Himanshu.
Sure. Anytime. Yeah.
Getting a quite good experience of that particular tool that gives.
Sure. Sure. I've shared the link. Feel free to sign up and use it. Not a problem.
I think Pramod, you want to say something? Sorry.
Thank
We
you.
just cut
So,
you.
so I think first time, frankly, I thanks for sharing a product which gives us some hope that we'll be able to teach you this kind of thing which are practical and doable. So first time, thanks for that, giving very basic outcome. Thank you very much for that. I think we'll try for that, and next Sunday we'll be able to add some more. Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
That's
Maybe some
Looking
pivot
forward to
message.
your feedback and any improvements, anything you will. I did capture a few things that Ankur and Harsh and everyone shared. I'll definitely, given time, I will incorporate those changes as well.
And probably, Himanshu, I will meet you outside this box. I will meet you in person. I have that
Sure.
advantage. So,
Yeah.
but probably it's a real good session. I think. Thank you
Sure.
so much again. Thank you so much. Thanks,
Thanks a lot,
everyone.
everyone.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for joining.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye
Bye.
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 Thanks.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Bye.
Bye.